Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Marissa, and I am the Crafty Heifer. We are going to see if we can't light up our world a little bit. Let's see if that makes it any better now that I've knocked everything over. Okay, so last week I asked you guys what you wanted me to do, and you said you would be okay with making wreaths. So we are going to make a fall wreath tonight, and everything except for one item is pretty much stuff that I got from the Dollar Tree. So all the wreath making supplies. Some of the tools, of course, you can't find at the Dollar Tree. So we're going to start with this. This is something that was found at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use a square wreath form that was also at the Dollar Tree. I have 2 rolls of this lovely brown and with gold shot through it mesh. Now what we're going to try to do, I thought I had more, but I didn't. So what we're going to try to do is use just these 2 rolls. If that doesn't work, we're going to test one side. If that doesn't work, I have some of this orange. Now this was not Dollar Tree. This probably came from Hobby Lobby, Michael's, or Joann's, because as you can see, it's a 10-inch roll and there is a lot on it. So this was a little more expensive. I'm sure I bought it on sale, but this is the only thing that really is not Dollar Tree, but I had it in my stash. So we're going to see how far we can get with those items there. Then the 3 ribbons I have are all Dollar Tree ribbons. So I have this lovely green, which I got last year, and it became one of my favorites to use. I have a lovely orange glitter ribbon, also Dollar Tree. And then I have this autumn harvest ribbon that I thought was super cute, but I was only able to get one of them. So we're going to work with those. Some of them will be in the wreath. Some of them will make the bow for the wreath. And then you're also going to need, some people use zip ties. I prefer pipe cleaners. A lot better, especially when your mesh has a metallic in it already. And because our mesh has a gold metallic thread in it, I'm going to be using the gold pipe cleaners in this set. You can also get like regular colored ones. They have this kit that has all the primary colors. So like that's actually purple. On my screen it's showing up blue. But it's got most of the primary colors in there. But tonight we're going to be using the sparkly ones. If I think that it's needed, I do have some green, also Dollar Tree. And this is, on my camera, it's showing up more of a lime green, but it's actually more of an olive green. And then I also have these, which were from Dollar Tree, and they've got the little claw hooks on the back of them. So if they will fit when we're done, we might put a couple of those on there. If not, I will use those for another project. No big deal. So let's say hi to everybody. Hello, Sharon and Katrina. Welcome. There's Deanne and Phyllis. Hi, Odd But Nice. How are you? There is Wilma and Tia and Kaya and Kathy. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. Like I said, we're going to be making this wreath. I did do a quick Dollar Tree run today. And just to I realized I was low on pipe cleaners, and there were some other things non-related to the wreath that I needed to get. So I went ahead and picked those up while I was there, and I found a couple of things that I've been looking for a very long time. So I picked up, I've got a pretty good haul. Maybe if we get done with this before the end of the video, I will show you. Those of you that were here last week, I also did my nails. Some of you have seen them. Some of you haven't. This is the set that you guys picked. So I put that one on, the glitter on that hand is on the pointer. This one is on my ring finger. But I think they look great. So those are the press-on nails. There you go. Now, with our pipe cleaners, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut these in half. And to do that, I'm going to use a pair of wire cutters. Now, you can get some of these from the Dollar Tree. These are heavier duty than what you'll get there, But for something like this, the ones you get at Dollar Tree will work just fine. But these are heavier duty. I'm pretty sure these came from Walmart many, many, many moons ago. So I'm just going to cut these in half ahead of time. So we're going to start with that, and I'll set those over to the side. You will also need a pair of scissors that you don't mind getting ruined, because the ribbon, when we go to cut the ribbon has wire edging on it. All of my wreaths, I use the wire edged ribbon. And so when your scissors cut through that ribbon repeatedly, it will tear up your scissors. So Dollar Tree for scissors. And then we're going to need a stapler. So this is a heavy duty stapler. I'm pretty sure this came from Home Depot or Lowe's. It's a nice heavy duty one. It's a Stanley brand if you care about that. And what we're going to do is 2 of these pipe cleaners we are going to take, and we're actually going to staple them to the back of our piece here so that then we can wire it on to our wreath form. And that's actually the first step that we need to do. So let me move the wreath form. Set it over to the side here. And we're going to cut off the tag. And we're going to cut off this little rope thing here, because we won't need either one of those. Okay. And then, I forget I have a trash can right next to my desk sometimes. What you're going to do is you're going to take your pipe cleaner, fold it in half, and then you're going to take your staple gun and you just staple it on. It doesn't have to be like perfect, as long as you get it on there real good. And then we're going to wrap our pipe cleaner around itself a couple of times just to give it a good base. Did that go all the way through? It did. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing down here. This one is not quite as thick as some of their other pieces, so it came through the front a little bit, but that's okay. That's why I have down a cheap desktop. And you can't really see it, so no big deal. All right, so then what we're going to do, set that to the side. We're done with the staple gun. Let's see. Yep. Hi, Melody. Some folks came in. Vanessa, hello. Robin. The other Robin. My sister. Yep, I did go to Dollar Tree today. I've been waiting for a Dollar Tree run. So then our wreath form, we're going to take it. And I was looking at this and playing with it beforehand. And I think what we're going to do is I'm going to do this on the diagonal. So I'm actually going to take my piece here on the diagonal, and then we're going to put our mesh on either side of it. So we're going to flip this over, get it nice and lined up, and then secure it on there however you think is best. Now, Texas is very windy, so all of my stuff has to be, really well secured. Otherwise, you run the risk of it either coming off the wreath, and then when I put it on my door holder, on the door, I actually wire it to my door hanger as well, because the way my apartment especially is set up is the wind before has taken a wreath and blown it down into a courtyard that's further down that way. So the wind comes through here pretty strong. So if you live in a windy area, make sure you get it nice and secured, and then just wrap the rest of your edges around so that they're out of the way, because you also don't want them to scrape the paint on your door. Okay? So there we go. It is on there. You can give it a good shake test. Make sure that it will stay. So there we go. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our deco mesh. Hey, Mayhem, welcome. Yeah, guys, this was the best angle I could find for this to get it up high enough that you could see what I was doing. So I apologize. I know it's kind of a weird angle, but it is what it is. So we are going to take our mesh and we're going to try something a little different from what I normally do. So normally I would secure it on, make poofs with the pipe cleaners. We're going to try a little something different today. Now the first set we do need a pipe cleaner for. And you're just going to take the end, give it a couple of twists, and then we're going to secure the end underneath our centerpiece here so that it can't be seen because the ends are not very cute. So we're just going to secure that down. And again, you're going to tuck your ends in underneath. And then what we're going to do is off of the roll, if I can get it untwisted, we're just going to push it and pull it up through here like so. And we're going to see how that looks. If we need to go back with either the orange or the green, we can do that. There's no really rhyme or reason to this. You just want to get it in there, and we'll secure it every now and then as we need to. So you can twist this. Mesh is very adaptable. So don't be afraid that you're going to mess it up. You can pull it back through. If you pull too much up, you don't like the way it looks, you just pull it back. And I'm going to constantly be pushing it to make it fit in here nice and tight. So you just work it in between your bars, around your bars, all of that kind of stuff, and then push it back. And ideally, you won't be able to see your wreath form through these little pops of mesh. So we're just going to keep doing that, keep pushing it back. Kind of make sure these are about the same size. They don't have to be perfect. Just kind of eye it. And just keep pushing and pulling. And then sometimes you got to reach in and spread out. Sorry. Reach in and spread out your mesh to get it nice and wide so you can see all of it. And you're just going to continue to do this all the way through this side. I think this might actually work. It's going to be close. So you're just going to keep going, keep unrolling. As you go, it's sticking to itself, which is why I'm having a little bit of issue. Let's see here. This corner might get a little tricky, but we're going to make it work. Just work it through. And I'm just working back and forth. So I'm going in this side and then in this side and then coming back over here, if that makes sense. So I'm just using that bar to give it the tension and the staying power. Just keep doing that. Let's see. Yep, this should be just almost perfect. So when you get to the end, with the Dollar Tree mesh, it is stapled onto the cardboard roll. So you're just going to cut the end of it off there. We should have plenty to finish this out with. And of course, the closer to the roll it gets, the tighter the... It's like our diamond paintings where they want to curl up. It will do that also, the mesh will. So just be careful. Now, this is the end. So just like we did when we started it, we're going to need to secure the end on this side. So we're going to take another one of our whatever these are called that have just escaped my mind, and secure that end. Oh, good night, Wilma. Thank you for joining us. So that end is also secured. There you go. So there is one side of it done. You can still see the bars a little bit, but we're also going to go back and put in ribbon. So I think that will be okay for right now. And then you just fluff it, let it do its thing, and call it good. Okay, so now let's do the other side, since we know that it works out. Yeah, so I knew I had this brown, and this brown on the roll does not look cute, you guys. It's, I mean, it's not that cute, but I've used it for wreaths before, and I absolutely love the way it turns out. So I knew it would be really pretty with this, and it would pick up these letters. And so that was my first thought, was the brown to do this with. Hello, Irene. Welcome. If I missed anybody coming in, I apologize. So we're going to secure the end again, like we were doing before. Like so. And then do the same thing. Just going to feed it through and go along. So, how have you guys been? What have you been up to? What's going on in your world? I started watching the Hulu 9/11 documentary. I made it through about 1.5 episodes, and I was already in tears. So I don't know if I'm going to actually make it through the whole thing. They've got some footage that I've never seen before, which is really cool. But yeah, it's been a little difficult to watch it, needless to say. See if we stand this up, if it'll be a little bit easier to work with. Perhaps. And if you need to, you can go around the outside and come back and leave it in that way too, if you feel like you're not getting it secure enough. And like I said, then you just fluff it to make it work. Oh, nope, I left a hole. A little bit harder to see it at this angle, but that's okay. So So just keep doing that. I realize you guys are not on the camera. Hold on. There we go. All the way through to the end. Hey, Melly, welcome. I bought it for those footballs and chose to do the twin. I think I have 6 rolls of the brown. Yeah. Oh, you did the twine. Is that what that says? No, you said twin. Okay. Make sure I was reading correctly. Yeah, so they've got these football wreath forms as well. And this brown is perfect for those. For sure. Now with this one, I seem to have packed it in a little bit too much. So the good news is we can just kind of loosen it up. Pull it out a little bit and around and keep going. So, and we're also going to put a bow right here. So this one doesn't have to meet all the way. That is okay. There's the end. So we're going to cut that. And go ahead and fill this up the rest of the way. Now, that right there is the end. So what we're going to do is stretch our end over a little bit and just kind of make this look like a bubble that's supposed to be there. And we're going to secure our bow right over here. Where'd they go? There they are. So secure your end. Yeah, Dollar Tree really has stepped up their game the last couple of years. They've been getting more and more stuff that normally you would have to get at one of the higher priced craft stores. So I've been shopping in Dollar Tree since I was in college, and that's been a long time ago. We'll just say that. Call it good. But yeah, they really have done well for themselves the last several years. Okay. So there we go. Again, you can still see the wreath form a little bit over here. So just kind of scooch it around as you need to. I don't mind being able to see the wreath form because my door is dark, so it kind of blends in with my door. Now, if you have a light colored door, this was going to stand out more, obviously. And the way that you fix that basically is if you have more brown, just do 2 rolls on each side. Or again, the ribbon is probably going to cover it up. So what we're going to do next is we're going to cut some of our ribbon. So my plan is to use the green ribbon, which this is what it looks like, and the orange sparkly ribbon to put on here. Now, we won't need a whole lot. So what you're going to do is, I like to cut my ribbon first and then layer it. So go ahead and take the covers off, obviously. Okay, and you're going to lay it out. Now, these bubbles aren't that big, so probably, if I get this out, you can probably go about 6 inches. Well, no, let's maybe do, turn this around the right way. That'll help. Let's do about 8 inches worth of ribbon, 10. Let's do 10. So I do that. I'll cut one. And then I'll use this one as a template to cut the other ones. And you can always double check if you're not sure if your ribbon's going to be long enough to show. You can always take it. You're going to end up squishing it in the middle and folding it down and you're going to want it to stick out. Now I'm going to fix the ends and everything like that, but just make sure that it looks good in several places throughout your wreath. You only want it to come up over the top of your mesh just a little bit. You don't want it to be too tall, because otherwise you won't be able to see your mesh underneath it, okay? It does tangle up. It was tangling up that whole time. So do that and make a cut. And these don't have to be exact. I'm going to do probably 4 to start with, and then if we need some more, we can add some more. That's 3. And 4. Then you're going to do the same thing with your other color ribbon. And when you're choosing ribbon, try to choose ribbon that's got colors in common or has a common theme. You don't want it to match, but you want it to coordinate. So I'm picking the 2 main colors of the wreath is green and orange. I love the turquoise, but I didn't want it to be super turquoise. I wanted those pumpkins that are turquoise to stand out. So I chose the more muted colors to focus on for the accessories, if that makes sense. And you guys remember, mesh is very forgiving. If you mess up, pull it out and try it again. You've got several goes. It's not gonna, I mean, it might wrinkle up a little bit, but that's just gonna add to the overall look. So don't be scared of mesh. You kind of have to wrestle with it. You kind of have to show it who's boss. That's kind of the secret with mesh. So high crafting with Shay. So just keep that in mind when you're working with mesh, okay? Now, move that out of the way too, since we're not going to need it. Remember, we cut all of these pipe cleaners. We're going to go back to those. And what you're going to do is you're going to layer your ribbons one on top of the other. So I love the sparkle that the orange has. So I'm actually going to put the orange on top of the green this time. Pinch it in the middle and kind of scrunch it into the center, like so. And then you're going to take one of your pipe cleaners, wrap it around the center, keep it nice and tight, and then give it a couple good twists. And that'll keep that part nice and tight. And then you're going to add it into your wreath. So let's set these over to the side. I can still grab them, but they're out of the way. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your wreath and just find a spot where you can, like right now, what I'm doing is I'm choosing to see where can I see the bar of the wreath form. So we're going to put one here in the corner, because I can see the bar there. And you just are going to pull your pipe cleaners through and secure them to your bar, just like we've been doing. Now, the fun thing is, because these are wire edged, you can then fluff them and change their angles and things like that. So the other thing I forgot to do is to trim your edges. You're going to fold them in half with the nice side out. And on that side, you're going to start here, and then you're going to cut at the diagonal towards the edges. And that'll give you nice, pretty ends. So just do that. I usually do that before I start adding them on, but I forgot. So we're going to add one there. Let's grab another one. Now this one, what I usually do is I usually alternate. So last time the orange was on top, this time we're going to put the green on top, like so. Scrunch it up. Pipe cleaner, secure it. Give it a good twist. Trim your ends. Start that one down a little bit lower. They were a little bit different sizes. So, and if there are different sizes like that and you want to leave them that way, just trim them separately. and then they'll still be different lengths. Okay, and we're going to add this one right down in here. And what you may have to do is work your way through the mesh. When you put it on in the fashion that we did, you kind of have to find the hole and pull it through, because this pipe cleaner will get tangled in your mesh, just to let you know. Don't be surprised if that happens. But that's also why I use a coordinating pipe cleaner color, so that it blends in with the wreath in case you end up seeing them. So, twist and zhuzh. And then we're going to add probably just one on this side, since we're going to do our big bow up here. And we'll go back and add another one in over here. So we're going to go orange on top of green. Judge center. Secure. And again, none of this has to be perfect. I've been doing wreaths for a lot of years. So do what you can do, just like everything else, and you'll learn as you go. I usually make my wreaths. I use them for a year or two, sometimes 3 years. But by then the weather has usually gotten to them. So that's usually about the point that I start getting ready to make a new one. I made myself a new fall wreath last year. And I forgot to do my ends again, you guys. So this one is actually for my neighbor who lives across the hall from me. She watches the apartment. Like when I'm out of town, she keeps an eye on my apartment. She'll occasionally bring me dinner or something like that. Just a really lovely neighbor to have. And she loves my wreaths. And so I have started making her, when I make one for me, I make one for her. And I change them out seasonally. And she has just gotten a really big kick out of it this year. So that's something small that makes her happy. So I don't mind at all doing these for her. And it was less than $10 worth of Dollar Tree supplies. So to me, that is something easily within my capabilities to do. Okay. There we go. We're going to add one more bow back in here so we don't lose our cut ribbon. Yeah, zhuzh. It's not a word that we spell very often, is it? Doing pretty good on time. So you just twist, trim the edges. This one's not the same size, so we're going to trim them separately. This end is the same. Learn something new every day. Yep. Okay. And sometimes you just have to stop and look. So we're going to add this actually right up here at the top. I feel like is where that one needs to go. Right there. Did not get that very secured, so we're going to flip it and see where I messed up. Okay. Now that ribbon is on there real good. So this is what we have so far. So there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work on making our big bow. So what we're going to do is, this is where we're going to introduce this ribbon, which I absolutely love. So we want this ribbon to be our focal point, but we're still going to pull in these two ribbons to help everything blend together. Okay. So the way that we're going to do this is going to be a little bit different. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the green, and I'm just going to kind of measure a little bit out. So we're going to take that much green right there. Okay. And we are going to take a little bit less orange. Like so. And you can, basically we're going to layer this out, but we're going to make each one a little bit shorter than the one before it. Okay. So we're going to make this one a little bit less. Like that. Then we're going to bring this one in. I struggle with bows. My sister can make them like in her sleep. I do struggle with bows. But this is one of the ways that I found to make a really easy bow. And then we're actually going to make one of these that's as long as the green one. And we're going to put this one on the bottom. Like so. And then just like we did for all the other ones, we're going to take this and we are going to squeeze it in the middle. Okay. And then we're going to trim our ends. So this is by no means a perfect bow, but we're going to make it work. Just like that. Last one on this side. And flip it around and do your other side. Hey, Robert. That. Trim. Trim. And of course, then you've got all of these little scraps that get all over the place. And we're going to trim like so. Oh, thank you, Melody. That's very sweet. This is stuff that I've learned over the years. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, so I cannot take all the credit. Then we're going to add this on to our wreath form. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take and make some basically bubbles, if that makes sense, with these longer edges. So like with this one, we're going to take this one, you're going to fold it back on itself and use a pipe cleaner, and you can cut these in half if you need to. Even though they're already cut in half, cut it in half again. And you take your pipe cleaner and secure that end to your wreath form. So this is what I call a cheater bow. Then you're going to take the next one, pull it over, do that again. And you can combine a couple of these if you want to. You can change angles. So I realize we didn't have to trim our ends to do this, but you are going to leave a couple of your ends hanging out. So if you wanted to leave your ends hanging out and hanging down, you could do that as well. So, and then you're just going to fluff like that, and then you have some of your ends hanging down. Now, the other way that you can do this, if you don't want to do it that way, you can take this and you can kind of pull it out and down into your mesh, and you can secure these down here out of pipe cleaners. So if I want to pull it all the way down here and secure it, I can do that as well. Mayhem has a new favorite word. Oh, messed that up. Let's try this again. And then with that tail, you just push it toward the back through your mesh. So have that one there. We're going to layer this one, kind of coming down the same way, a little further outside. And secure it. We need to make a drinking game out of that word. And then I'm going to let the other ones hang. Now you could also, if you wanted to, pop these up here and just kind of use the ends again are whatchamacallit, wired. That's the word I'm looking for. So you could make an actual bow out of them. You can't see that. You could make an actual bow out of them if you wanted to. That's also easy to do, but I actually am going to just let it hang down and do its thing. And I'll probably have to go through here and do a couple of other little things to kind of fix it. But don't forget to, you can weave your ends in to make it look a little more like a messy bow. But just play with it until you're happy with what you have. And you have a wreath. There you go. That was a 45-minute wreath. Put it in a priority mailer with my address on it. Yeah. We'll see about that. So there you go, guys. That is just one way of many, many, many ways to make a wreath. If you wanted to, we could take some of these little leaves here, just like this. It's already got the clip on it, and so you can just take it and attach it to some of your mesh, cover up some more of those areas. It's all about how much you want to add or how much you can add, how much you have that coordinates. It would be really easy to get some of the pumpkin picks that they have at Dollar Tree and put those in here as well. So you can just add those on there. I love that they clip. So there you go. One fall wreath. All done. So I hope you guys like that. If you've got questions, let me know. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that I made that a little bit easier for you to decipher. But guys, seriously, most of my wreath making skills I got either from my best friend or we got from YouTube or Pinterest. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll find one on Pinterest that I like, and I don't ever copy anybody, but I make something similar. So I find the supplies so that I can make something similar. So I get inspired by what they have, but I don't copy them. So, and then usually I'm covered in glitter, which you can't see, but it's all over my desk. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me grab my bags and I will show you the rest of the haul that I got today. And if you guys will go ahead and start putting in your Wednesday wins for me while I'm doing that, that would be good. Okay, so as I said earlier, I did stop by the Dollar Tree earlier, okay? And, oh, put two in the center of the bow. That would be super cute. I needed some wrapping paper for my blessing box items. So I found this super cute flamingo wrapping paper. And my bin is also a flamingo bin that I'm putting everything in. So I went ahead and got the matching paper. So I can now wrap all my blessing box gifts. I found these Harvest DIY words. So they're just wooden, unpainted wooden words that say different things. So it says, welcome fall, give thanks, blessed, farm fresh, hello fall, and hello autumn. That last one was a little more challenging than it should have been. So my plan is to take these, and I've got several of their unfinished wooden signs in different shapes and sizes and things. And basically you paint this, you paint the sign, and you glue this on. So, and it makes a really easy little fall. And they have these words for a lot of their seasons. So you could use them for, you know, different things. You can make little signs for your tiered trays if you do tiered trays. So I did that. I did find some more of the gnome towels. They're very similar to the ones that I found. In fact, this one is one of the ones that I found at Family Dollar. So, I mean, they're almost identical. So this is basically what the towels look like. But I did find two more at Dollar Tree. Let's see. I found one of these wooden signs. It says, hello, October. So I liked the gingham pattern on the end. So the other thing is, because I've got the Cricut, I can always paint over this and then put down a new saying if I want to, but I actually really like this one. So I will probably use this in my decor. I got 3 more of these bins, which I've told you guys about before. They have the lid, and the lids snap on like that. I love these things. They are great for my craft area and just to hold random things. You can travel with them, all that kind of stuff. So I got 3 more of these. I got them all in the clear because all of my bins over in my craft area are clear. So got some more of those. A bubble mailer. So I need to send something off. And then I found this gel polish remover tool. And I thought this would be really helpful when I'm taking off my acrylics, my press-ons. So we're going to try that and see if I can get that tool underneath to help kind of pry those off. So that's in that bag. And then in this bag, I found some things that are going to be giveaways for the Lone Star Retreat, which is in 21 days, you guys, 21 days. So I found this one. It says Happy Fall, and it's like a coffee, and it's plastic. So, and the lid screws on, which I like. So that'll be a giveaway. I found this one, which has little trucks and pumpkins and a little barn and some leaves flying around. So that'll also be for a giveaway. And then I got another coffee one, and it says Hello Fall. So that one is orange. So they're super cute. I got this sign. Now, I'm not actually planning on using this. I'm probably going to scrape this glitter off, sand it off, and then I will paint this bottom part and use my Cricut to create a new design. I also could do that on this side, take these staples out and create something else on this side. So you can basically make these a two-sided design, but I like that this looked like a mason jar. And I've seen several little crafts that I would like to do. I can also put some paper down and Mod Podge over this and not have to worry about it showing through. So there is that. I did find, some of you were on the Zoom the other night, I needed some Goo Gone. So I got some Goo Gone. And I and my sister have been looking for this calendar for like 4 or 5 months, you guys. It's ridiculous. So this is the Farm Fresh 2012 or 2022 12-month calendar at the Dollar Tree. And this is what they have on the back. So this has got tons of possibilities that you could craft with. I love the Thanksgiving one. I love the truck is black. And of course, they've got the turquoise truck here. It says Happy Harvest. They've got the Farm Fresh trees. So I'm going to be using this to make signs with, different things like that. But these are so cute. So instead of using it as a calendar. So I got her one and me one. And then I got 2 more things. And then I'll read your Wednesday wins. So I found another one of these pumpkins. So what a lot of people are doing is they're Mod Podging on these. So they put a pattern here on these raised pieces, and then they paint the depressed pieces there. And they take that off and put on an actual bow, or they wrap this stem with twine. You can do that as well. So I've already got one of those I've done, and I want to make another one. And then I found this little guy, and I thought he was just too adorable. So I had to get him. So he just says Happy Harvest. So found those at Dollar Tree. It was a good shopping trip. I'm running out of flat spaces in my house to put stuff. Oh, and I was going to show you, those of you that have a Craftably tube. I know a lot of us are going to the retreat with our Craftably tubes. And so I was thinking we're all going to have the purple ones more than likely. I need to figure out how to make sure I get home with mine, with my painting in it. And so, again, with my Cricut, I cut out my name. This is what I needed the Goo Gone for, because as you can see, my transfer tape left a residue all over my nice chrome vinyl. So I'm going to get after that with a Q-tip and some Goo Gone and see if I can't get that to be nice and shiny instead. But I put my name on mine, so I know which one it is. So there you go. That was one of the craft projects I did this week. I've been doing mostly craft retreat stuff. Of course, is anybody surprised by that? Because I'm not. It's basically been my whole life. So let's read some Wednesday wins. So let me scroll back up here. So Deanne's Wednesday win is that she only needs one more item for her blessing box. She is doing good. Tammy finished packing products for the retreat, and it's all super cute. I don't know why anybody is surprised. Creative Mayhem thinks I'm bringing my cow yoga calendar with her to the retreat. She also made her first Instagram reel this week. Use a floss pick to remove your nails. Oh, that might work too. Deanne says she's got to go to the Dollar Tree. Hey, Melissa, welcome. So you guys, and keep in mind, I've been to 2 separate Dollar Trees this week. So even though we have a lot of them in the DFW area, they all have different stuff. So when I find these things, a lot of times it's 2 or 3 trips to different stores where I find things. I just happen to hit, this is the one that's between like my work and the house that I go to the most often. And it just happened to work out that they had the good stuff today. So sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Excuse me. So I'm going to pull this back down. Those are my finds. I have been, last night I painted all these little crates that we're going to be using at the retreat. So they're all this lovely cream color. So that we can use them over and over again. I can use them in my craft space for different things. I use these a lot on my tiered trays as like risers. So I'll flip it over. As you can see, I tried to paint it other colors that didn't work. But I'll flip it over and use it as a riser and then put a sign on top of it so that you get, this is basically the effect that you get. So it looks like a crate. You can use it as a crate, put stuff in it. So like that filler, the vase filler, works really good in these. So you can use those in your tier trays or like on the top of a table or something like that. You can stack things on it, do it different ways. The other stuff I cannot show you. So there we go, you guys. We've only got a few minutes left, so I'm going to go ahead and end it there. I want to say thank you everyone for coming. I hope that you enjoyed our wreath making tonight. If you liked it, please don't forget to give my video a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. If you are not subscribed and you would like to subscribe, hit that button. And if you do that, don't forget to ring the cowbell because everybody needs more cowbell in their lives. And until I see you guys next time, happy stitching, happy diamond painting, happy wreath making until we meet again. Bye, guys.